Welcome back to the Resistance broadcast, everybody. There is nothing to talk about. I'm just kidding. We just watched the trailer for The Rise of Skywalker, and we are here to talk about all of it with you. So welcome back to the Resistance broadcast. The base is open. I'm John. How are you guys? So yes, what we are going to do here is you probably watched our reaction videos already.
Do you want to say who we are?
Yeah, in a second.
Okay.
In a second. So,
okay.
So joining me, who did those reaction videos, are James, Baney, and Lacey Gilleran. Hey, guys.
Hello, man. I cannot wait. We need to break this down, guys. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Hi. Just want to say hi. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, guys. So yeah, like I was just saying, you probably saw our reaction video. So now we're going to do more of a extended reaction to that. Everything we saw, questions we may have, and I want to talk to you guys. I can't wait to talk to you guys about it right now because you guys clearly, before we even recorded, brought up things. I was like, what? I didn't see that. So I'm really excited to get into this. So let's do it now.
We also really didn't talk about it yet. So this is the first time we're talking about it with each other.
Yeah, I mean, we just watched it 10 minutes ago. So I cleared up my eyes. I dried my eyes off, and then here we go. But then make sure in the comments you comment on what we had to say and things that you observed too. So, all right, guys. So we're gonna do a little bit of a walkthrough, I guess, and then let it rip away. So we start with the Lucasfilm logo, per usual.
Woo! Getting that guy in there, you know. Woo!
I mean, we can kind of get it out of the way that like we all liked this trailer, right? We all thought this was really good. I don't know how it's gonna stack up in the pantheon. We've been talking about our favorite trailers earlier today on Twitter and stuff, but
yeah. Yeah, I don't want to do the whole recency effect, so I don't want to comment on that part right now and like compare it to other ones. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So we start off with Rey dropping a helmet of some sort and running through the jungle. Do we think that's a familiar planet? We've seen this before in other marketing or in stuff like that. What do we think?
Go ahead, James. You had a theory of what it was.
I just said. When in the reaction, I saw the helmet drop and I was like, oh, that's an Endor helmet. So they're on Endor. I was just like, it was just snapped to me. I don't know that necessarily makes sense, but that helmet is very familiar among, the old Endor or not troopers, but like rebellion fighters. So.
And running and breathing hard. That's what I saw.
In previous clips, because I like to try to tie in stuff I see that connects to other stuff they've shown us. So it looked like she was training in that jungle in the first teaser or the D23 clip or whatever that was. So I wonder if this is a part of her training or what's going on here. But it's either she's training or there's some sort of sense of urgency. But anyway.
She's got her lightsaber out and she does deflect one bolt from one of the little the training pods.
Yeah.
Remote. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then she does the big old Indiana Jones jump.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, with this jump, does she end up... Is this like from Force Awakens?
No, I think it might be... Remember those rumored things they were talking about?
It looks like the Death Star.
Where they're bopping around?
Oh, like a force fight?
Yeah. Do you think she's like transporting herself? Or do you think this is just nice trailer editing?
I think it's just nice trailer editing. I think it just happens to make a jump.
I hope so. Yeah.
The first time I watched it, I thought it was like them, because something about the dialogue here, I can't remember exactly what they say, but something like, oh, it's been a long journey or something. And she like jumps across and then it like seems like she was back in that Star Destroyer, scavenging. But I'm looking closer.
Finn talks about the Force.
New.
The whole trailer opens with Finn talking about the Force and how it's a feeling and it's led them here.
How it connected them, brought them together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what the beginning of the trailer is.
And some people are going to say this is proof now that Finn is force sensitive. I disagree completely.
I don't think it is. I think he's explaining it to someone.
Yeah, I think this has more to do with like the Yoda narrative that the force lives in everything and makes life grow and that sort of thing. And Finn, kind of like how in The Force Awakens, he didn't know how the force worked. Well, now he knows how the force works. And that's
growth.
Yeah, to me, it's a sign of them believing in the Force, and this trailer just pounds home camaraderie and friendship and that whole thing.
And hope, definitely.
Yeah. Yep. So I think
he's got his binoculars up.
Yeah, right. That might be when he spots Jana or something, I'm thinking. He's like, who's that over there? What's going on over there?
Yeah.
But look at this, like the packed like bar scene. And you see like Lando sitting down there and Poe's giving a speech.
Is that a bar or is that a base? Because it looks like the base that we saw Poe kind of come down the rope in from the ship.
Yeah, it's definitely a base of some sort. I just love that Lando's just sitting there chilling.
When I did my reaction, I was like, Lando, because I saw his yellow shirt.
Right. And then
I'm sure somebody will point out, but I looked for Dennis Lawson here and I didn't see him.
Oh.
But I also didn't see, a lot of mainstayers. Like I didn't see Maz, I didn't see Leia.
Right,
people
right.
that you'd think you'd see here. I was like, well, I see Lando, and then I see a bunch of
3PO,
random people.
That Mon
I see
Cala's
3PO
there.
a little further back.
That Mon Cala's standing there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that right. The like paler one. Yeah.
And I think Vober Dand is there from TLJ. Well, I'm just pointing out creatures because there's just a lot of humans here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a cool scene. It looks like there's jungle plants in the background, so I think they're definitely on that planet that Rey was on. So this is wherever she's training is where their new resistance base is right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Leia probably catches it, and then we got Rose and Dominic Monaghan.
And I think that's Connix next to him.
Oh, that was her? Was
Is
that
it?
her?
Dominic Monaghan. That's Connix next to him.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Okay.
Huh.
Maybe they're a thing.
Interesting.
Now.
Well, she looks a lot different.
She has the braids that go over her head, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then some Han-Hans as well in the back there.
Yes.
And is that Jana behind?
Yeah, probably, because Han-Hans are in this a lot. This might be the part towards the end of the trailer where the Han-Hans are running on the ship. This might be in that ship.
That was so cool. I screamed Han-Hans. Did you guys watch my reaction video yet? I know.
No.
I did.
You did?
I didn't.
Okay.
Not yet. I watched James, not yours.
So then we got Poe, Chewie, and Finn in front of Poe's new orange X-Wing. Again, Jungle Planet. So,
yeah, it is over there. That's cool. I didn't notice that.
James, this is like one of those things, I don't know if you talked about it or Lacey, where they show you a lot of the beginning of the movie, I think.
Yeah, this trailer to me had a lot of moments that you were like, oh yeah, but it was totally JJ style, which I left this trailer going, okay, so what's the story? Because it doesn't really tell you anything.
Yeah.
I agree.
But that's Star Wars.
I was on the phone with Clayton and he's like, so we didn't really learn anything. I was like, okay, that's true. It's true.
Yeah.
All the stuff we're going to get is from pointing out like little nitpicky things like John saying, this is from the beginning of the movie. And then me looking at Poe and going, oh, he's got the bandana around his arm already.
Yeah.
So people were speculating he got shot at some point in the movie. It looks like if this is in fact the beginning, he's starting the movie with that on his arm already. So I don't know. That's something to think about.
The thing that has me thrown is this next bit about where we're assuming is the Death Star 2 wreckage.
Oh, I love this part. This was my favorite part of the whole trailer.
I just don't know when this is happening in the movie. Is this the middle? Is this the end? But it's, Rey, and I was a little startled by what she said, saying nobody knows me.
That's why I loved it.
Like, that threw me a bit.
Yeah. In my reaction, I go, it's kind of like the fans. Like everybody being like, well, Rey is this and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, nobody knows me.
You think it's a little break the fourth wall, like that sort of deal?
Maybe.
That's kind of cool when you put it that way, because like everybody thinks they know who her parents are. Everyone thinks they know where she came from. And she's like, no one knows who I am.
Everybody thinks they've got the whole thing.
JJ just throwing some cutesy shade out there.
But yeah, it is interesting because we're not quite there yet, but there's other scenes of this water, like, with the boat thing, like trekking over it and stuff. We'll get there. But like, it seems like it's not, I don't know. It seems like it's in the middle of this massive ocean. She has to get out there first.
Well, Dale's got quite an arm throwing those buckets of water all over Kylo Ren because they are pretty dense.
Yeah, and he's doing this like little like be fancy with his lightsaber type of stabbing, tuck it away move.
Yeah, what was that move? It's like, are you turning it off? Because this just seems like unnecessary.
Yeah, I think he's just like...
No, I think he's like turning it around to get it ready in that like backwards position.
Oh, because in Last Jedi, he does the backwards hand grip, I think, with Luke, where he does the...
Yeah, yep. And then
Yeah.
she
They might,
mirrors
yeah.
that in training. Yeah.
Right.
So any more comments on that clip? It was very brief, but it was him saying, I know, or I do, I know you. Or,
It's interesting to me because it means that their force connections are probably still happening. Even though they seemed shut in The Last Jedi, to me, those quotes make it sound like they are still happening.
I think we got some stuff that was like, no, didn't Daisy Ridley say that on
At
an
Celebration,
interview? Like,
she
no,
said
the Force
it's still
Skyping is still happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you haven't seen it yet. So I'm going by what we've been shown. So
Yeah.
what they
Sure,
have shown hasn't been anything with them together yet. This is the real first clip that we see them face to face.
And this
Like
looks
talking.
like, unless it's, again, great editing, this looks like a situation where they were both trying to get to this point and they're finally facing off for the first time on this spot.
Right.
Where he comes out of the mist and it's like, oh no, and here they're going to clash their sabers and that sort of thing.
I'm interested to see if she's going to do one of those moves where she knows the team's in danger, that he's arrived. So she goes outside because she knows she's going to draw him out. Because later in the trailer, when we get to it, Finn runs down the same piece and he's yelling Rey. So I could see her being like, you know what? I don't want to sacrifice everybody's safety. I'll go stand outside. Like every typical, like...
We speculated a long time ago that there would be like 2 Kylo Ren fights with Rey.
Yes.
Well,
In order to
hoped,
show that
yeah.
Kylo Ren's like wins a
That
fight.
he can win one, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if this doesn't seem like a early in the movie type fight, but it could be because Finn is there and he's saying like, Rey, we have to leave. We have to get out of here. You know, like
Sure.
she like runs away and Kylo's mad about it, showing that he was like more, I don't know, winning, I guess.
But he doesn't
kinda
have
say.
his mask yet. So the question is, does he
That's
have
it
his
for
mask
me.
in the beginning or does he have his mask at the end of the movie?
I think he has his mask at the beginning. I think we don't see his face again until midway through the movie. So the first time we see Kylo Ren in episode 9, I think he'll be masked. That's my guess. Or like we don't see him, but the first time we see his like head is when the mask is going back on.
Oh, yeah.
And then something happens where he gets busted up and he loses it. I don't know what the story is with this, but yeah. But do you guys want to move on to Superman's home?
Sure. I thought this was one of the most beautiful shots in the sequel trilogy.
Very
This
Bob
like
Ross.
ice. Bob Ross.
He always
I
did
love
the
that every
mirror.
artistic shot, you're like, it's Bob Ross.
I mean, he's the greatest artist in the history of the world. He did the Sistine
Sure.
Chapel.
Yeah.
He did the 16th Chapel.
That was Ross of Bob.
So when the
Ross de Bob.
So when the little clip came out earlier today with all the ships, which we'll get to in a second, but it had this clip in it, the first thought, my gut reaction was like, oh, it must be Kijimi. But now that I'm watching in this trailer and it goes to the next shot, it might be where Palpatine's been.
That's tricky to me. I think this might be, let's play with tones here. Because I think this Palpatine throne is at that Death Star wreckage.
Oh, with the spikes?
I think so.
I don't know, man.
It looks very
'Cause
underground
They
to
show
me.
him in the throne room. He's like, that one's destroyed. I'm going to set it up over here.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, what does this material look like to you? It's not ice to me. I don't know what this is.
Oh, I think it's absolutely ice. To me, that does look like
The throne?
the throne.
The spiky throne?
Oh, no.
The
We're at the
glaciers
part-
are clearly ice, yeah.
Yeah, we're at the ice kind of Frozen 3 castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the ice castle thing, or the ice island thing. If you look like on the edges, there's civilization
Yeah,
there.
there's
And I think
cities,
when
yeah.
you get really close to that, then you'll lose track of kind of like everything around
Then-
it, and it will just look like a city in like a snowy area.
Then it might be Kijimi.
That's kind of what I'm leaning towards.
Then
but
I
it
think-
looks really crazy.
It comes down to me, this Imperial Star Destroyer that is literally getting resurrected out of ice or something.
Ice, yeah.
How far ahead are you in this trailer, John?
We're at about 53 seconds is where the throne is, and then
Yeah,
at
where are you?
54 seconds is
you're
where...
still on the glacier?
Yeah,
That's like,
because
that's 1
we
second
haven't
ago.
moved past that.
All right, go ahead. Let's go back to the glaciers.
Oh, it is like right after. I didn't realize that.
It goes like iceberg.
James, are you on the
throne.
part that
I thought
says
it-
December 20th? That's where I am.
I thought it was the thing that it was the same as the one that released earlier. It was going to be this shot, and then it was going to be all the ships and stuff.
No, I
I'm
was
like, why are we talking about this other
no,
stuff?
no.
That was later in the trailer.
We're at about 57 seconds where you see the Star Destroyer coming out of the ice, which looks like ice.
I was holding
With
the door
lightning.
for you to come on in.
But okay,
I mean, that's obviously
what
Palpatine's
is-
throne, his new deal, his new Game of Thrones deal.
It really is.
yeah.
And then that is an Imperial Star Destroyer getting resurrected out of what, to
With
me,
lightning.
like you say, it looks like ice and like force
Yeah.
lightning. Yeah. So did he like
Where
put?
have we seen that lightning before? Oh, so this is the shot where you see all of the Star Destroyers in the sky and the lightning, and then you see, don't you see? Wasn't this where ships started showing up, or was that just the clever editing again in the last D23 thing?
They didn't come out of anything. They were just there in the sky with lightning.
Yeah, they were just kind of floating. And we panned, and you couldn't see the end of the line. They just got turned into like
Yeah,
dark
it was
blue.
like it looked like thousands of ships.
Oh, I meant the Resistance ships. Don't they like?
Oh, they just pop out. Yeah.
Yeah, they just popped out, and then it was like, was it clever editing to make it look like
I
they
think
were in
so.
the same area?
Yeah, the atmospheres looked a little different. I really do think we can't gloss over the fact that this is an old school Imperial Star Destroyer here, or Super Star Destroyer. So this isn't a First Order ship
Right.
that's getting resurrected. So the First Order has their stuff and maybe their new ships, and it looks like Palpatine's got some old used cars on the old lot that he's bringing back out. I don't know. It's pretty crazy though. But yeah, what's next here? Next is like that big. Everybody's getting
the
their
one where
Easter egg.
everybody's
Yeah.
What's
Everybody's
in here?
circling everything shot. And I love some people are like, that's not the Falcon. I'm like,
But the circle dish is back. You pointed it out first. You were the first person to say that.
yeah, I was talking to Mark Newbold at New York Comic Con. He's like, what if? He's like, they're on the Death Star too. What if Lando and they find the old actual dish that broke off and they put it back on? I'm like, that'd be some fan service right there. If they find the old dish that Lando goes, that was too close.
So you're saying maybe they did?
That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be funny. I stick by my gut reaction, which I think Lando's flying the Millennium Falcon here. Because that would be such a callback to Return of the Jedi if he's the one that leads the battle.
No, I agree. That would be
Or
pretty
maybe
cool.
not leads it, maybe behind Poe, obviously, but
Is
like,
there any? Damn it! Every time I try to get in zoomed in there, it goes to the next shot. Wait,
because it would just be so cool if that happened. If it's like him and Chewie back at it again.
look at me! Look, I'm like so trying to look so close here.
John, if you hit the comma button and the period, it will go frame by frame in YouTube.
Oh well, I'm on my iPad. That's the only deal.
Oh, well, then you're screwed.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like there's Chewie obviously there, and I agree, Lacey, because then they jump to Rey in the cockpit, and they probably want us to think that she's there, right?
Right, because we have that shot of him being like, yeah, ha ha ha, taken off into, like from the last trailer. So that
Yeah.
would make sense if he flies in here, he's flying it.
I agree.
Yeah. Do you think there's any chance that it's like they're on Pisana, him and Rey, and then Lando gets on the ship and he says, "Oh, I'll fly this thing." So he sits down because in the Funko thing, he's in the cockpit, and then they take off into space, and then they just go back to like their base or whatever.
I don't know. I feel like this would be such, especially for older fans, this would be such a moment for them to see Lando back in the cockpit, and it would be something that he could go into battle and react and have his moment without having to do any physical action.
That to
Because he
me
just has
makes
to sit there.
the most sense, because I think
Yeah.
later on we see Finn and Poe like laying some kind of ground assault thing that looks like it's in a big part of the movie.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Because they could do the action stuff.
and
if
we
we're
know
talking
Rey
like
at this
physical.
point is not going to be in the Falcon. She has bigger fish to fry. She has other stuff to be doing. So that makes a lot of sense. And maybe the whole let's go thing is them leading the hyperspace charge of all the fleets coming in together, right?
Right.
That would be kind of cool, I think.
So we got to mention this. Like this picture, this image, just a couple seconds here, like went absolutely viral with people like picking out all the different ships and stuff, which was actually a really smart clip for them to release because it gave people something to do.
Well, it also creates marketing because everyone's.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it gives people something to do in the sense of like, oh, look at this one. I found something else. And like, oh, look at this one. Do you think that, oh, let me research it. And like people are like talking a lot about the trailer and stuff. What I think is crazy about this is just how many ships that we might see that we just were like, well, that's not happening. You know?
Yep. And also we can't, people are like, that's the Ghost or that's the Razor Crest or that's the Mon Cala cruiser. It's like, could be the same model. Doesn't necessarily guarantee it's that one ship,
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the Mandalorian is showing up in episode 9. Do you?
Yeah. I mean, that would be quite...
Well, there's
it's like 30 years later.
Things.
I know. That would be pretty epic, actually.
There are a couple things here to play. Like, when I first saw the ship, I thought, okay, that kind of looked like the Razor Crest. But would they give away that the main character lives?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's not. Is it giving it away, though? Because the episode...
It takes
Don't
place
all the
30
episodes
years?
air, though, before The Rise of Skywalker?
But this takes place 30 years after the events of The Mandalorian.
Oh, you're saying it doesn't leave it up in the air if he dies or not.
Yeah.
Yes. So I thought, okay, but then I also thought it doesn't give anything away. Like he's not in the movie, but the ship is there.
Right.
That still means like we're looking at the Ghost right here. Does that mean Hera's piloting it? I don't know.
Is that
like
one?
60,
are we 100% sure that's the Ghost?
No, but what I'm saying is like we don't know that it's not just the Ghost, and we have no idea who's piloting. They never answer the question.
First of all,
and they can answer that in subsequent whatever.
Imagine like the series finale of the Mandalorian, the final episode of the whole series. It's like Wedge Antilles takes the Razor Crest, and now he's flying that in episode 9.
I mean, I kind of was thinking,
I'm kidding.
Is there a chance that something happens at the end of season 1 that it's like, oh, this is my ship now and I fight for the rebellion or something,
Yeah, I'm the captain now.
Well, there isn't a rebellion, but you know what I mean. Like something that gives away what you're about to see in the movie.
I have to say, this was awesome today when this image first came out and everyone went bananas on social media. If you're not a big Twitter person and you're a listener of our show, people went crazy doing the Where's Waldo, pointing out each ship and what they think it is and that sort of thing. It makes me really nervous though, because I feel like for some people they felt vindicated, like, yes, they're bringing the animated characters in episode 9. We're going to get Ahsoka. We're going to get Hera. We're going to get Jason Syndulla. We're going to get this person and this person. And then they may watch the movie and it may be like Rogue One where it's like, oh, that was the Ghost. There it goes.
Which is 100% enough.
I know, but I'm just saying, it makes me nervous because people are going to go in thinking like, oh, they're going to do it. They're going to show live action this person finally.
Yeah, I mean, and that's always possible. But the thing is like, I don't think like the lower tier fans of that stuff always necessarily like want that to be the case. They just want something that is a little bit of payoff. That's why I think Rogue One is so great.
I know,
because just the little things pay off.
I saw some tweets where people are like, we're finally getting live action Ahsoka. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah. It would be interesting though, like if Ahsoka's ship was one of those ships, it would be a bigger deal, you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
It's just one of those.
She has a very specific ship too, so.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the craziest shots I've ever seen in my life. It's absolute insanity. Like this takes the end of Return of the Jedi and times it by like 500.
It takes every ship moment in Star Wars and times it by 100. I mean, every fight. Yeah. If you go back now and watch the original trilogy and you're like, okay, let's go, guys. It's like 20 people. And you're like, really? That's the army you're going with?
You're like, oh my God, did you see
Yeah.
that? There was 5 TIE fighters there.
But I gotta say though,
Return of the Jedi was big, but this is looking way bigger.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, we said in the fall, I know I've been saying forever that there was going to be a moment like Ready Player One where everybody showed up, and this is that moment.
All out war.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it was funny too because I tweeted the thing about like Star Wars in 1997, and it's like them circling Dash Rendar's ship, and they're like, "There it is! It's right there! It made an appearance!" And then it's like today we get this, and it's like 20 circles all in one frame.
I made a joke that it looked like Lou Albano's earrings, and like 5 people got that reference. So thank you guys.
I don't get that reference.
Pro wrestling, Lacey. You know pro wrestling. The last thing I want to say about this, though, Lacey, your point about Ready Player One, guaranteed we'll get some kind of non-Star Wars Easter egg, Lucasfilm friendly ship-looking thing in this like big shot.
Someone says they already saw Star Trek in the bottom right-hand corner. The Enterprise. Someone said they already saw it.
Wouldn't like that.
Which
very
wouldn't
much.
surprise me because JJ did Star Trek. So it kind of makes sense.
I don't like that.
But
Yeah.
I think Ready Player One and every other adventure battle movie, you're going to get someone to give a big speech. The question is, who's that speech going to be? Who's going to give that speech?
Poe
You think
Dameron.
so?
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to
we
be
just
Leia?
saw
or
a clip that
Mon
looked like
Mothma.
that. It wouldn't be Leia because they're reusing footage.
It's
Bring
true.
back Lady Proxima.
What?
No, it'd be cool if they showed the Enterprise, but then they throw shade at Star Trek and blow it up. Imagine the Falcon blows up the USS Enterprise by accident.
JJ wouldn't do that. He loved doing Star Trek.
Well, the Falcon wouldn't blow it up.
No, by accident. Like Lando's like, how does this work again? Pew!
That's too much. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's way beyond. But what could be cool is like if it blew up and then like through the fire or something, it like the Falcon comes through to like avenge it or something.
So,
What are we talking about?
all right, next shot, right?
Yep.
Crew, fam in the cockpit.
Yeah, we got this for
Yeah,
the
we got
setup.
the-
That was
yep.
C-3PO behind. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Ray's still doing some piloting. I think that's them leaving the jungle planet. I think that's all
Yep.
that is.
On the mission for Leia. Yep.
Yep.
After she hugs Leia and all that. Yeah.
And then we go back to the top of the Death Star wreckage, and then they are fighting each other. And they're like swinging like for the fences. They're just like throwing haymakers at each other. With
Yeah,
the
they
waves
are.
in the back. This is going to be an epic fight. I can't wait for this.
I mean,
Yeah.
how many days did it take them? 7?
6 days.
6 days to shoot.
Yeah. Anthony Daniels like confirmed that.
That is bananas.
Imagine being soaking wet for 6 days. Just like,
Poor Daisy. They always like dump buckets of water on her.
well, look at Adam Driver. He looked like he was just came out of
I
the
know.
ocean.
Yeah.
It's like Aquaman
And he's
too.
got that huge cape on too.
Yeah. It'd be funny if Jason Momoa
Like he
swam
fell
between
in
one.
on accident.
He fell in. He's in a dunk tank and Daisy's just throwing remotes at it. Bing. All right. So the next is an explosion. I have no idea what that
Yeah.
was. It's very quick.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
so
It's
quick.
very quick. And I was like, what are they are
what it
they
is?
like wanting to show this without
USS Enterprise.
with like hiding it? Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I think
It
it's probably
looks-
Kijimi because remember in the last teaser they show them shooting the surface of Kijimi or whatever the ice planet is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like red laser beams. I think this could be that planet.
Because those do look like it looks like a Star Destroyer, like kind of pointed at the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're almost seeing the back of it and it's pointed like this way towards it.
Because in the last teaser, remember that? Like they have the red laser beams and it was like
Yeah.
that snowy.
And it was like blowing up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because those were more mountainous. But again, when we get closer to that planet, you might start to see some land and stuff.
Hear me
Right.
out, and this could be way off. What if those red beams were not destructive? What if they were used to thaw? And they were used to thaw the ice to free Palpatine's fleets from the ice?
Maybe, but it looked like he did that with lightning.
Need a little help? He's a little old. He's like 130.
How dare you?
Well, John might be right on this because have you ever seen the natural reaction when like there's volcanoes and volcanic activity? There tends to be a lot of lightning around the volcanoes as well. So
I think that's
that would be
definitely
like
force lightning.
You think it's like force lightning? I was just
The
saying
blue lightning
it
is
could be
definitely
like
force lightning.
Yeah, I didn't say
when you
I
have
agree.
like mass amounts of heat and explosion like that. Sometimes there's electricity in the air.
But we're comparing different frames.
Yeah.
Those shots of the laser beams going into the ground were just causing physical reactions. I'm just saying it's possible that we're trained to think big giant laser beam in Star Wars, they're blowing up planets. What if, because we saw the Super Star Destroyer coming out of ice, what if those things were programmed to, at a certain point in time, thaw out this like fleet or something?
I'm just going off of the like theories we got with the tennis ball ships that have their own laser in them.
Yeah. Maybe
So if that ends up to be true, they would then follow through with more lasers.
We've seen these Star Destroyers with the things on the bottom. They show up here later in the trailer.
Right.
Like
the
those
dreadnoughts.
big lasers on the bottom.
Yeah.
All right. This that puddle jump ship thing reminds me of the ski speeder from Crate.
Speeders. Yeah, it does look
Sure.
like a ski speeder.
It's not the same though, I assume. It's something that's
No.
like a boat version of this.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Who's on it? I would assume it's Ray, but it's really hard to tell at this distance.
Looks like Poe.
it looks like it's. I want to say.
Oh, it might be Finn as well.
It looks like BB-8's
Because
on
he's
there.
like there. I thought maybe BB-8 too.
I think it's
they-
the whole crew.
I think they all might be packed into this thing.
Is this the same thing that they were on? Does it like fold up?
I think this
And
gets
it's like
them.
the sail barge thing on when they're on the desert?
I think this gets them from that hill to what they were overlooking in the first teaser. And when Ray's like, I got to go alone, and they're like, we're doing this together, then they hop in this stupid thing, and they hijinks ensue, as they do in Star Wars,
This just seems like such a bad idea.
which is the most Star Wars thing ever.
All right, who's going to say I've got a bad feeling about this as they get on this boat to go into this water?
Finn?
Probably Finn.
Has he said it yet?
No.
Maybe Finn. It looks like someone's holding BB-8, like, imagine Poe's holding on to him, like,
Yeah.
little buddy. But no, this is kind of cool, though. A cool shot, but it looks like they're going to have a rough go. It
Oh my
reminds me a little
God.
bit of Indiana Jones, actually.
Next is Babu.
Oh, I know. And
He's a puppet.
He's not speaking English. It doesn't
Nope.
seem like, or basic. I apologize. And he's doing work on 3PO.
He's doing noises.
Yeah, I love him. I love his little goggles, and I love that
I mean,
he's
he
not
only
wearing
makes
his
one
goggles.
little sound, but yeah.
Yeah. And then this part was the comic relief. We think it was comic relief, and he's like, what are you doing here?" And he ripped my heart out of my chest.
Oh, look it. I didn't even see Zori Bliss standing there.
Zori, yeah, I was going to mention it. I didn't see it the first time,
I did
but
not.
she still is doing nothing.
And she's still wearing that helmet.
It's just standing there like this, like with her arms like in a mannequin.
I mean, this could have been when they first met her, because if they meet her on Kijimi, and we know that Babu Frick is from Kijimi, they went there for this reason. And
I don't know, though. If they just met, why would they let Babu work on C-3PO?
Because maybe she said, like, look, here's the deal. Here's that chip. Remember that photo with the chip? She's like,
I don't
"This
think
is what
she's
you need
taking
to
her
do."
helmet off, guys.
I mean, that's fine. Whatever. But, I mean,
You know what else? If that is at the beginning of the movie, the Kijimi stuff, then this is C-3PO like saying goodbye at the beginning of the movie, and that doesn't make sense either.
I don't know this is necessarily the beginning. I think this is probably where they go when they leave that jungle planet, though.
This is definitely where he gets the red eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I'm just saying, like, is this the middle of the movie, and then we lose C-3PO in the middle of the movie?
I don't
Is this
think he
like
had
a
red
hump to get over?
I don't think
Like
he had
the
red
end of the
eyes in
second tier?
Pisana, though.
No, I don't think we're losing C-3PO. I'm not buying it.
I think he's being dramatic, being like, I'm saying goodbye. And like, they're just doing it temporarily.
Watch the next line is R2 like telling him stop being so dramatic or something.
I mean, maybe I'm
That'd be
falling
perfect.
for it, but
But I mean, just in the vacuum of this trailer, this part made me choke up a little.
It made me very emotional as well.
And this is the reason why. He says, you know, and I compared it into like real life with these actors. like one last look at my friends. And he looks around, and then the camera shows him putting his hand on R2, like old school, and then it goes right to Chewie. And I immediately thought about Kenny Baker and Peter Mayhew, who both died, and then Carrie, who's dead. And there's Anthony Daniels, the last like OG, just still in the suit. Like it just like it hit me so hard. I'm like, oh, it started a little bit now, but
it's the slow push. It gets you. The slow push.
Everything about it, his words, then the music after this, then they go to the main theme. I was just like, I think I went like this, or just like,
it's funny that like we talked about the music that could be in this trailer, and an epic rendition of the main theme.
Yes,
like never occurred to us, and there's no better. You know what I mean? Yep. The only thing that would have been close to being that emotional is them using the Force theme again. And it's like, okay, I think we would have been over that, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't want that. This is absolutely perfect. It wraps up everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a powerful version of it. And it just, I don't know. It's so damn intense. I don't know what to do. I'm in trouble. And then they're in the hallway just mowing people down. Like, that's so episode 4.
Yeah, it's Chewie, Poe, and Finn.
And what is that? Like, where is that?
That looks like a First Order.
It's definitely First Order because the stormtroopers are First Order.
Yeah. It's just like, is that beginning? Is that end? Is that what they're doing at the end of the movie while the space battle's going and then Rey's over here?
Right. I don't know.
I don't think Poe Dameron's going to be flying an X-Wing at the end of this movie because JJ's probably like, I already did that with you. You need...
I think he's getting more screen time as like the hero that needs to be on the ground running.
Like Han Solo in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Doing the stuff. Yeah. With the thing at the place.
Like in a weird way, he's kind of like the Akbar here. Like he's kind of in charge of the main run.
No. I think Lando's more of like the Akbar.
I think he's a Han.
I think he's like the Han Solo on the ground with the troops doing the thing.
Then we have Rey and Leia.
I'm trying to see
again.
Real quick though, in that hallway scene, I'm trying to catch 3PO because if he's there and that's the end of the movie, then we know he's good. But I don't know.
But I don't know if that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't even be totally blown away if this wasn't like the beginning, you know? Like it pans down and then you cut inside the ship and it's like dun, 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 we got to get out of this place. Right. And they're shooting people and stuff.
They're getting plans or something.
Could be.
Yeah, they're just setting up for, and then we'll get the comic of like them finding out they needed to board the ship.
Yeah.
They're like, oh great.
It could be the scene that Kylo Ren is with his troops and it looks like he's getting blown back by hyperspace because they leave going out of hyperspace. Like, remember that image we got of Kylo Ren where he's standing there?
Similar hallway looking style.
So what if they were stealing something or taking something or whatever? Then they take off and Kylo Ren's like, come on. And he's like holding himself up because they took off at light speed.
Oh, it could be the Falcon then, yeah.
It is maybe they're
stealing it
the
back.
Falcon right now? Oh, yeah.
Maybe somehow they got it. Because in Pasana, they leave it.
How do we know that?
Because they get out of it and then they go to that festival thing. What if the First Order takes it and that's why they have to escape on those other crappy ships? And then they have to go get it back.
Too big of another narrative point, I think. That's tough to me.
I mean, maybe.
I think it makes more sense maybe if it is starting the movie with this and their mission is to get the Falcon back. Like, for whatever reason, unexplained, the First Order has obtained the Falcon.
I just feel like... I feel like...
stealing it back.
I feel like JJ's going to have them using the Falcon a lot for fan service.
Probably.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, this right at the beginning is like, we got to get the Falcon back. Fan service.
I feel like, the Falcon. I feel like there's been too much looking for the Falcon in this trilogy. They just put the keys in your pocket and not let people steal it, please. Yeah,
maybe. I guess so. I mean, yeah, I'm only saying that because of that blast thing.
Yeah.
It makes sense because they're running away.
They get away.
And, yeah.
It's very Darth Vader tracking them down on Hoth and they get away type of thing. And he's like, damn.
Yeah. Again.
Blast.
And he has his mask at that point too. So it'd be early on in the movie.
He's holding it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm surprised that they used the hug again.
I was just thinking that. Very rarely do we ever see a trailer that, like a main trailer that uses a big scene from another trailer.
Yeah.
Right?
It's used all the kind of the clips that we've seen so far, if not a different angle.
Which makes you think Leia's really not in this movie a lot.
That's what it kind of tipped off to me is like, hey, maybe people missed that like other trailer. This is our big money shot. Maybe
Like, is she just at the beginning and this is her saying goodbye to her and then they go off and then later on we see her like become one with the Force and then she does a little Force ghost wave with Luke at the end?
they still make it seem like she's around, you know, when they're talking about the movie, like so many takes.
And you have to think the
It feels
metal
like she's
scene
on
still
set.
has to happen.
What if it's right there?
I mean, it could be.
My only thing, and I was talking to Clayton about this, I think it's fair for them, and we've probably talked about this before here, for Leia to end here with Carrie. Because they're not going to like, this is the big mega end of the Skywalker saga, and then be like, but then we're going to do a comic book where she's a senator again that takes place after this. They're not going to do that with Leia. I think Leia is going to die in this movie, and I think she's going to have a big side-by-side, get the waterworks going, Force Ghost shot of her with Luke together.
I agree.
It would be easy if they did like a blow up the planet and then show a close up to like have a shot, you know what I mean? Kind of like how they did with Last Jedi. I thought that was the scene. I was like, oh, this is how they do it.
I don't think she's dying
just
in a
had her-
warfare way. I think it's going to be like a Yoda peaceful way.
Oh, that could be. Like she stays on the planet and everybody leaves or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once she
That's true.
finds her purpose was, you know, which was making sure Rey found her way, just like Luke found peace and purpose. Because I don't think they're going to physically kill Carrie in the movie. You know, that'd be a bad look.
You're right. Yeah, it would be. And I just think people would be like, oh, so that's how they treated her. They blew her up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm beginning to more and more think because of fully respecting her, even though Carrie Fisher would be like, I don't care. You continue my character.
Right.
Yeah, she'd just be like, whatever you think is best for the character. Yeah.
I because she's not like Mark Hamill. No offense to Mark Hamill, but Mark Hamill would be mad if they like kept Luke going without him, right? But that's the reason why I think more and more that she's gonna pass, but in like a good way. But anyway,
Well, we'll get to the end too, which is kind of leads you to believe maybe one thing will happen. So
the line here, this is Luke saying a Jedi's purpose is facing their fears, and your purpose lies with me. Do you want to play it real quick just to get the line or what? Because now we're reaching like really the end, even though it's another 40 seconds.
it is confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi.
And then he says, your destiny lies.
Oh.
Because something
Well,
he
we
said.
see BB-8 blow up a tank, which is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, dude, he's pretty militant.
He's crazy.
Ever since he took on that AT-ST in The Last Jedi. Because I thought Luke said something like, your destiny lies, which reminded me of the line that Vader says to Luke, your destiny lies with me. I thought it was like an interesting parallel.
So speaking of BB-8 who shoots off the tank, you then have Finn who's like all excited. He's always doing the
The Star Wars
like,
woo moment. Yeah,
that is the Finn moment. He always does that. C-3PO's behind him and he doesn't look like he has any red eyes.
When I think of that moment, I think of Oscar Isaac in the X-Wing. The woo moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I think of Finn in the Force Awakens where he destroys the guy, and then when he's in the TIE fighter and he destroys the guy. Basically, anytime someone gets destroyed by Finn.
He does it in TLJ too when he's in the ski speeder and the Falcon. She mows down all 3 TIE fighters.
Yeah.
I meant trailer wise though, because in the first very first Force Awakens teaser, it's like Poe in the ship, and then he's like, "Whoa!" and it gets you like super excited,
right?
All right, and then we see Chewie and Lando, which looks like they're.
I'm telling you, they're leading the charge.
Who's in that Y-wing? Is that Zori Bliss?
Oh,
Because it looks like it's attacking again Imperial Star Destroyers.
I mean,
that's what I was saying earlier. Those are those big cannons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this might be the part where they drop Finn and Poe off. Because they have to get on a ship at some point.
Yeah. True.
I could see that being Zori Bliss's Y-wing. That seems to be a thing.
She's in a toy with a Y-wing, right? That's confirmed?
Yeah. But that Y-wing, I was always like a fan of the Y-wings.
Mm-hmm.
So to see them return was like a big thing for me. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I'm glad to see that. With all of them, actually. I mean, they brought A-wings back for Last Jedi, but B-wings as well in this are flying around. So
the next shot is probably one of the most epic shots ever in Star Wars, I think.
As the main theme's just pounding.
Yeah. Which is the Space Horses or Han-Hans running down the top of the ship with just explosions happening. But then BB-8's like rolling alongside them.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's just like,
so this
going
is
for
like
it.
in that big like lightning storm or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think, which then does tend to lead us towards that lightning stuff is
the end.
The end of the movie, yeah.
Because they have to meet Jannah at some point.
Yeah, all the like stuff we were talking about earlier with the lasers and the heating and the lightning and all that, and like lifting up. Like it seems like that stuff comes later because this big lightning storm is somewhere. Is this on the ground? Like,
no,
did this one
ship.
crash and they're on top of it, or is it like they're riding horses on top of something flying?
It looks like they're on the surface of a Star Destroyer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is it like on the ground? Like, did it crash and they're climbing up on it now? Or is it like they landed a ship and then they opened the door and the Han-Hans run out and they're all on horses on top of a floating
I
Star
think
Destroyer?
It's floating because the lasers that you see in the previous shot with the Y-wing, which is red and green lasers, the same lasers are being shot around them when they're up in the air on this thing.
Yeah, there are green cannons going off as they're Han-haning by.
So these are like horses on a plane, basically.
Horses on a plane. Right. Like snakes on a plane.
Yeah.
And then Mace Windu is going to come back and he's going to be like, this is my real sequel.
Yeah.
Merging genres. Perfect. The story lives forever, the text, all that stuff. And then the Palpatine's Return of the Jedi throne room.
Ben Solo looks pretty relaxed right here. Pretty
Yeah,
calm
I mean,
conversation.
she still has her
He has her
lightsaber out.
lightsaber. Like, I don't trust this dude.
He's saying something. You just can't hear what he's saying, obviously, because it's trailer. But his lips are moving.
He's like, can you just join me? It's like, come on, it's been a year.
You're totally
there's no
right,
doubt
though. She's
anymore.
still defensive.
Yeah.
This is there was still some talk about this possibly being Death Star 1 and pulling back to the original Star Wars. This is Death Star 2.
Yes.
Yes. There's no question about it anymore. So the question really comes
That's
is unless they want
Palpatine's chair right there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So where are we at? It has to be Endor. Can it not be?
I think it is.
Are they going to explain that it like landed? Oh, it's the planet just adjacent to Endor. That's dumb, right?
Well, look, you got to have some familiarity, right? Because we have Pasana new, Kajimi new. Is the jungle planet Endor, or is that new? Like, I think it's fine to go back to Endor. I don't think it's going to be like JJ's rehashing because we're going back to Endor. It's definitely a different aspect of this planet at this point. We're in the ocean of Endor instead of the forest.
Yeah.
So, this shot though, it's
is
so
awesome.
It's so like crazy to me because it's like it makes it adds a dimension to Return of the Jedi to me. It's like you're seeing what happened then. Like Vader was there with Luke, and there's Rey and Kylo Ren in that room. That is so
We're gonna
awesome.
watch this movie and then go rewatch Return of the Jedi and be like,
Yeah.
30 years from now, Rey and Kylo are gonna be standing in that room.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Like that's what makes it builds on the movies.
But it's crazy that they're fighting in the beginning of this trailer and now they're standing across from each other, not doing anything. And then that goes into the next shot. Well, not the next shot, but the shot after this. So the next shot would be Finn, who's yelling Rey again.
Yeah, trying to get Rey out of there or whatever.
And then them fighting or like breaking something together, which to me looks like the black pedestal with the Darth Vader helmet on it.
Yeah. I agree. I think that is Vader's helmet.
And he has his helmet on.
Yeah.
There's your second fight. So them in that room with the Vader helmet is going to be their first fight in the movie, and then at the wreckage will be their second fight. Kylo Ren's going to win this first duel here and wherever they are. And it looks first order basey. So this is going to be probably the same spot where the guys get away from Kylo Ren with Rey. He's going to best her, and they're going to get her out of there. And then later that's what I think. Go
ahead.
Well, because he has his mask on. I think
he's going to hold it, and then he takes it off when she takes off.
This is going to be their first fight. They are so TRB got something right. They're going to have 2 duels in the movie. Bingo bango.
Man, that's so crazy. You might have unpacked that, but I saw this and I was like, I don't really know how to explain this. It looks like they are both destroying the body together. That's what it read to me.
That's what they want.
And I was like, well, we're gonna have to like explain the balance or the Reylo aspect of this. But if you guys are saying this, it looks to both of you that this is like just an accident, like in the middle, like they bumped over a vase while they're fighting.
I think they did it on purpose.
So they both very intentionally both are trying to destroy this thing.
Nope.
No,
I think John is alluding to like they're fighting.
So
and then
hold on. What if this is her in the forest cutting the tree in half?
What?
Remember when she cuts a tree in half?
Yeah.
What if this is them force fighting or whatever? So what she's breaking in her environment, she's breaking in his environment.
Or he's breaking in his.
And then she's breaking the tree in her environment.
Yeah, man.
Because we've seen in The Last Jedi that rain affected him. He had rain on his face. That their environments can engage with each other. So wouldn't this take that to the next step if he can physically change her environment and she can physically change his environment? Because in Last Jedi, he couldn't see her environment. What if they can in this movie?
So then if that's the case, then she's not really there. So then this is a like pseudo fight, and then the real fight happens on the wreckage.
Yeah, maybe.
Because him having the mask here tells me early on.
It's early on, yeah.
And when
he takes his mask off.
This is when the guys are running down the corridor. They're all going to be here for some reason. I think.
I don't know though, guys. When you go like slower frame by frame, they're not like hitting and then like looking back to get back into position to fight each other.
They're
looks
breaking
like
it
they
together.
Both were going like breaking it, and then they're like, man, like I think one of their arms goes up or whatever. Like, oh, that's done now. Now we've finally broken the curse. Like that's what it
broken the curse.
Yeah, or it's
or it looks like
incidental.
Kylo's like sitting there dealing with it.
Yeah, I don't know. If we're entering the whole like bopping around thing, then I'm not even going to bother speculating about it anymore. That's just insanity.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too.
I still kind of agree though that they're definitely doing it together. I don't think they're doing it by accident. I don't think this is an accident.
No, it could be. I don't know. That's definitely Vader's mask.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's just like
it definitely is Vader's mask. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets
and they
knocked
released
off on
the
accident.
spirit
Looks like
of
it's
Sheev.
intentional. This is the room that we saw the mask pop out, though, right?
Yeah.
The white room, yeah.
The white room and the
Jeez,
masks
what?
pop out
It's
of the
probably
drawer or
not
whatever.
true. But if we're gonna get Crazy Town, I'll get a little Crazy Town. What if Palpatine's essence is trapped in Vader's mask, and whatever they do here, like, releases him?
Maybe. I mean, at the beginning of the trailer, he said he's been waiting.
And he's like, you two coming together will be your undoing.
Yeah.
Imagine they like freed him by accident.
Whoops. My bad.
Whoops, yeah.
And he was just waiting in there the whole time, just like waiting in Vader's mask. I don't know. I know it's crazy, guys, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's cruise along.
Yeah.
So it looks like those are the Han-Hans running on top of a Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
With BB-8.
And then it tilts
Yeah,
up.
it looks like there's other ships flying, so they're definitely like in the sky.
Yeah.
Horses on planes, guys.
And those look like the First Order Star Destroyers.
Mm-hmm.
So are they working with the First Order now against Palpatine? Like, this is getting crazy.
I don't know. It's kind
Why
of
do you have a stampede of horses on top of the ship? Like, where are they going? What are they doing?
Those Orboks or Han-Hans are not living very long, right? They're just going to fall off the side of the ship. But anyway.
What noise do you think they make?
Oh
my God.
Wow.
I mixed a horse with a tauntaun. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Well, this shot is like the prettiest shot of Adam Driver, and his scar is very going away.
Mm-hmm. Did he move it, or is it still where it was in TLJ?
It's where it is. It's just very dim now compared to Last Jedi, where it's like pretty.
And again, we don't see him with a weapon, but there's a hue at the bottom that's blue. But I don't know if that's just lens flare. Like, people are going to say
I wonder what's behind him. It's some type of machine.
That's just a lens flare. That blue.
That's JJ's lens flare. He put a lens flare in this trailer.
But where is he right now?
JJ.
There's lens flares all over the place.
Is this?
I know, he just loves lens
Is this
flare.
in the throne room? You think? Like, do you think this is?
No, I think this is wherever they meet Palpatine. I think that these two clips of Kylo Ren and then it cuts to Rey are in the same room. I do think that's not tricky editing. That's
He's
together.
got a look on his face like Palpatine just laughed and he turned around to find Palpatine.
I mean,
and the lights go out.
There's Palpatine right there with the robe.
Yeah, to me, yeah.
Right?
To me, it seems
This is my
like,
moment, guys.
To me,
Called it culture.
it looks like Kylo Ren is with Palpatine, like on his side, looking down at Rey.
I don't know. They're just.
I don't know. I don't know either.
Yeah.
It's my headcanon that he's going to figure out that this is whatever this situation is, situational, if you will, is bad. And he's going to team up with Rey. Because if Palpatine at the beginning of the trailer says you coming together will be your undoing, that to me says you're going to work together and it's only going to hurt you.
Yeah, I think that's very possible. I do find it weird that she's standing there with her light. She's facing Sheev Babes Palpatine with a lightsaber on her belt. She's not holding it.
The other interesting thing is the ground is the same ground that we see Kylo Ren kind of stomping in the last teaser, that like kind of dusty
With his TIE fighter.
Yeah, where he so I'm curious that wherever this may be, is this a vision she's having? Because it has a very vision quality to it with all the smoke and fog and
Yeah.
like, is she having a vision and then Kylo seeing it too? Because they're both the same color. That kind of thing. Because this to me looks dreamlike.
Oh, and then it goes black, and the next shot has lightning right behind Rey, and it's Luke saying the Force will be with you.
Right. So if you go to the end of the Palpatine clip where the lightning flashes and it goes to the dark part looks exactly like the part where Kylo Ren's dragging his lightsaber. Like that ground is the same ground.
Yeah, could be. And then you got Luke and Leia. The Force will be with you always.
Right.
Which makes me,
Luke,
makes me think Force Ghost Leia.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, there's something about the way that it ends with the Force will be with you, and then she answers always, which is kind of a win for me. I said that the last line of this would be Carrie Fisher. It's the last word.
That's the last line. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but
so
does
is
it look like
Palpatine's?
Palpatine's in a jetpack?
I was going to say, is he in a floating chair?
No, he's
what
in
I
that.
thought,
He's
too.
in that spiky throne that we saw earlier in the trailer.
This looks
That looks like
mechanical.
it's made of. Yeah, that looks like it's made of.
This looks like
stone.
a floaty chair.
This looks like it has like electronics and stuff on it.
Yes. It is definitely electronics. It's not stone.
I think it's mixed, maybe.
Maybe it's like a breathing.
I think he's
system
definitely going
or
to be
something.
sitting in that Beetlejuice-looking chair.
What if the thing that is
Absolutely, but
keeping
I'm
him alive is making
Yeah.
him? He's like, there's things in him and stuff.
That'd be ironic if he needed something like Vader needed, you know. But and Ray,
But that's kind of what makes
Ray's got tears in
him-
her eyes. There's
yeah.
something going on there where she's holding that lightsaber.
I don't think the shot where she's looking at Palpatine and the shot of her holding the lightsaber with tears in her eyes are the same scene.
No, I don't think so. Not necessarily. Yeah.
I think the first scene is Palpatine. She's having some type of vision or he's calling to her. And then I think the end part is the end, towards the end of the movie.
I think she's definitely in front of Palpatine. I don't think that's a vision. But I think you're right. These are two separate things.
Yeah.
I agree. And then that's it.
Or
That's it.
this could be her looking at Dark Ray at the end of this trailer because it's got a similar background.
Could be. I mean, that is interesting. They end the last one with Dark Ray and they ended this one with Light Ray. Which is, you know, that's
I
good.
forgot about Dark Ray.
Yeah.
How does that fit into this, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in this trailer that we expected to see that we didn't.
Well,
like
that's
we
the
were kind
thing.
of going through the list earlier.
We're I think we're doing a good job of connecting some dots. But this trailer told us nothing.
Nope.
And I love it. But yeah, that's it. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
Just no Sith troopers, no General Pride, no real explanation of Zori Bliss. I thought, you know, we'd get like a gunslinging or something.
No Matt Smith.
No Matt Smith. No Knights
You
of
didn't
Ren.
see the satellite dish on the Falcon? That's him, man.
Yeah, no Knights of Ren. I was hoping to see them in action.
Yep. Yeah, and it's funny, like, people did bring up, like, well, my theater's cast list showed Matt Smith. I'm like, someone else sent me a screenshot that showed Andy Serkis and that Derek Connolly co-wrote it. And just, they don't trust the theater cast lists. But people really want Matt Smith to be in this movie. Like,
Yeah,
did you just watch the trailer? Do you need
like,
Doctor Who in this thing?
Like, I don't understand any movie where people have been so pushy about somebody being in this. Like, we have to figure out how he's connected, you know?
Well, that's why I've
It's
been such a
like-
troll about it. I'm like, who
Yeah.
cares? He's playing a fork.
He's playing a fork.
The best thing we've seen is him playing like a random alien, like with a blue face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Any last final thoughts here, guys? I mean, we have talk more about it Thursday in a specific way, but
I think we're getting redemption. And I think Kylo and Rey are teaming up.
I think so too. I do.
But I think that this trailer is making me more worried than ever that he's going to die
oh
in this
yeah.
at the end of this movie,
Yeah.
which not enjoying
Tough stuff, James.
it. Not enjoying it.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm happy with the trailer. Like, I think we started this off by saying, like, where does it fit in the pantheon of trailers? And like, I could see someone, saying this was my favorite trailer.
This was my favorite trailer.
All the sequel trailer, yeah.
Ever?
So she's gonna say that now. I think me and John are kind of worried about the whole like recency thing, but because I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, the music and like this and this and this, but I still think there's something to that, the Force Awakens trailers, you know, where it's like just being blown away by something we've never seen before. And, you know, all of this is new, but at the same time,
I'll say this.
It's Finn, it's Poe, it's the Falcon. It's, you know, we've seen.
It's funny you went right to TFA, James. I think this trailer is better than both the Last Jedi trailers.
I think it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and rewatch this.
I need someone to show me my place in all of this. Get out of here. And we are going to get out of here, right? Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, listening. We hope you enjoyed our speculation, our breakdown of the trailer. Make sure you leave a comment on what you thought of what we had to say, and maybe things that we didn't bring up that you wanted to get into. Obviously, there's a lot of rumors about Wedge Antilles, and we didn't see him. So there's a lot of things that we could have gone on for another hour, but that's what we're going to get into on Thursday. So make sure you're subscribed to us, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you check out our Patreon page, and I actually don't have our full list of our generals up right now in front of me, so I can't.
Mello, Bryan,
Val, Neil Shaw, David Probus, John
Neil.
Reese, Andrew Staley,
the other Neil,
That's
Positivity Neil.
Neil Lowry. And am I missing someone?
There's 9.
I'm just making this tougher for James.
There is Val, Andrew, Jeremy, Neil, David, John, and Andrew.
Did you say them all?
Yes.
Okay. Generals, thank you.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah. So, guys, head to our Patreon page. We have some good news for you guys. November 7th, we are doing a 2.0 relaunch with a lot of exciting stuff on our Patreon page. More details to come. You guys should always be going to StarWarsNewsNet.com for all of your latest Star Wars news. Go to tpublic.com, look up the Resistance broadcast, and pick up a Supreme Leader t-shirt. Or Make Solo 2 happen, or whatever you like. There's always sales, so wait for those. And us, you guys can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and at Star Wars Newsnet. James?
Twitter and Instagram at Meyer Chunks.
Lacey?
People can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lacey Gilleran. I'm super pumped that we got our tickets for the movie.
Yeah,
I had like a
Lacey.
mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing Ray-Buns,
Nice.
which you can't tell.
We did not notice that.
The camera.
Yeah, so guys, we hope you enjoyed the trailer, watched it a billion times, just like we're about to do again right now. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. And thanks to James for turning this around real quick in the wee hours of the night. And James doesn't even drink coffee, so he's a super phenom. But we'll see you guys on Thursday, where what we're gonna do is we're each bringing a Will of the Force question based on what we saw to the show, and we're gonna talk about whether or not anything that we thought going into the trailer changed how we think about the movie coming out on the other side of it. So until then, enjoy your weeks, and we'll see you on Thursday morning right here on the Resistance broadcast. See you around, kids.